Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And we are here talking about Week 11, the 2021 college football season. We're looking at the big games, and what we're really going to do this time is we're going to break it down from the current rankings for the college football playoff. So we'll start with the number one team. We got number one Georgia. They're going to be at Tennessee playing the Vols.
Is there really much of a reason to talk about this game?
There's not.
There really isn't.
But what's funny is, when you're listening to the media right now, they keep playing up Tennessee like Tennessee's going to do something.
No.
And I'm like, I don't think so.
It's hope. People are trying to cling to hope that Georgia's not just going to crush every team they run into, but they are.
Yeah.
It's
And granted, Hendon Hooker's a good quarterback. But I think, once again, until I see Georgia's defense really suck, until I see that happen, I just don't believe it's going to happen. So
not against Tennessee either.
And I don't think it is. I don't think so. Even with what everybody's saying, I don't believe it. So number 2 Alabama is going to host New Mexico State. Are those the Lobos? I'm not sure what they're called. Maybe the Lobos.
I mean,
they're having a pretty good season so far, 1-8.
I think I'm much more interested, if we're talking about Alabama, to talk about Bryce Young for a minute.
Okay.
And the fact that he is currently listed as the number 1 Heisman Trophy person.
Yeah. And somewhat what that tells me, though, is that they're struggling coming up with somebody that's just the cream of the crop, top, leading the Heisman.
I mean, I think we knew who was leading it up until Michigan State's loss, but we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, that's not a game.
No, it's not a game.
It's not a game.
Okay, then number 3, Oregon Ducks. They are going to host Washington State, who's 5-4. That's not horrible. But in the Pac-12, I mean, nobody's really standing out besides Oregon at this point.
No,
I think Oregon Ducks are going to not struggle.
I don't think that's going to be a game either. I don't think any of the top 3 teams.
No.
I honestly don't think any of the top 4 teams are going to have any problems personally. But that being said, if we want to move to the 4th one here,
let's move.
Purdue has done some wonders in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Ohio State lose.
And you said that Purdue coming in ranked number 19, Ohio State number 4, but it is at home for Ohio State. That's a big deal.
But think if Purdue beat Ohio State. Think about that legacy, like 3 in a row.
Oh,
that would be so nice.
Yeah, it would take quite a show for Purdue to pull that off. Could they? Possibly. Yeah. They could do it.
I mean, I honestly think that's going to be the most interesting game of this week.
Okay, yeah.
But
I'm interested. I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, Cincinnati is playing at South Florida. It's 2-7 South Florida. And, the whole thing with this, Cincinnati's made it to number 5. They're just on the outside of that top 4. The thing that would really help them is to destroy their opponents. Like, beat them by 50 points.
Yeah, but didn't we just look at the score?
And Cincinnati, in the fourth quarter, about 10 minutes left as we're talking right now. It looks like South Florida is coming back a bit. So they're not blowing them out.
Kind of like almost barely beating LSU.
Yeah. Let's not go there. Okay. 5-4 Maryland is going to be at Michigan State, who is number 7. We're going to get to a couple of the other ones in between there in a little bit. But Maryland's going to be at number 7, Michigan State. You mentioned they had a Heisman potential in Walker.
I don't think they have a chance at a Heisman anymore after that last game.
Yeah, I don't either.
And it sucks because Michigan State was looking so good all season.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have a problem against Maryland. Like,
no,
they won't.
They shouldn't. No.
But it still is. It's just kind of disappointing that their season is going to kind of reach this point where it's just they're not going to have a Heisman anymore. They're not going to be in the championship.
Likely not.
So it's just kind of sad.
Yeah. Number 9, Notre Dame is going to be at 6-3 Virginia. So can they bring it against Notre Dame?
I would love to see it.
I think there's a possibility here. I mean, yes, they're 6-3. I think they might, and I think this every time. In Notre Dame, again, Notre Dame's opponents are just not stellar.
Mm-hmm.
So they continue to win and stay up there.
Well, Notre Dame's lost this season
once.
Yeah, and I don't think
to Cincinnati.
Yeah, who is struggling versus South Florida.
That's true.
So I don't want to say that
That's
I'm
true.
super impressed with Notre Dame, but I mean, I understand that they've done really well this season for their conference,
Yeah.
but still, I don't think that is a done game. I think they can go either way.
All right.
I think Virginia could take them.
TCU is going to be at number 10, Oklahoma State. And again, TCU just pulled an upset. And so can they do it again against the Cowboys?
Can the Horned Toads beat the Cowboys?
That's a good question. I'm not thinking so.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
I don't think so either, but
I don't think so. Though.
Once again, would be an awesome thing to see.
Yeah. Now, a really interesting game. Number 11, Texas A&M, is going to be at number 15, Ole Miss. And I think this, again, this is more of an SEC battle showdown. I think there's a lot of potential here. Lane Kiffin, he is ready for Texas A&M, but my goodness, Texas A&M, they can show just some brilliance.
They've done. I honestly think they've done great this season. I mean, they've beaten both Alabama and Auburn.
Yeah. So
far, and that's just impressive in of itself. Like Alabama is the number 2, maybe not deserving, but number 2 team in the entire.
Does somebody deserve to be above it at the moment?
No, you're right.
So,
I mean, let everything we've mentioned so far
doesn't deserve to be there.
Texas A&M has been very impressive.
Yeah.
So I mean, I honestly, I would love to see that not be a game.
Yeah.
Personally, I would love to see them just take it by storm and just roll over them. I really would.
We'll see. I think it's going to be a game.
It will be.
I think it's going to be a battle.
I think that they could have a really good opportunity to really just show their stuff in that game and just prove that they are the better team.
Okay. This next game, they're both ranked teams. I'm not that intrigued. It's just not exciting me. But number 16, North Carolina State, the Wolfpack, they're going to be facing the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest, who's number 12. And Wake Forest is obviously just coming off a loss. Disappointing because they were undefeated. Can they recover to play North Carolina State?
I hope so. I mean, I think it'd be cool to see Wake Forest do well.
Yeah. We'll see. I think I just don't have a ton of confidence that Wake Forest is going to be able to do this.
I feel like it's a toss up, right? It's like one of those games where it's like I don't think that the teams have that big of a gap between them.
Yeah.
So it could really go either way.
That's true.
It's who shows up on the day, right?
Yeah. Mississippi State's going to be at number 17, Auburn, and are they going to be able to recover? Which Bo Nix is going to show up? The good Bo or the bad Bo? I don't know.
I mean, I really hope Auburn does well here so that they can, so that the Alabama Auburn game will look better.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that is true. I'm really cheering for Auburn in that game and just hoping that they show up and do really well. So it's really a good game versus Alabama and Auburn when that happens.
I agree. Now, another one, and I find this one interesting, just intriguing. Number 25, Arkansas. They're going to be at LSU. LSU, which LSU, again, like sort of like the Bo thing, which LSU is going to show up?
If the LSU that showed up against Alabama shows up, they're going to crush Arkansas.
That's true.
It won't be a game.
But then Arkansas, okay, this is my question. Okay, again, Alabama was not even able to run the ball at all against LSU.
Oh, they shut them down.
Arkansas's game is running the ball.
Yeah.
So it's really be interesting if Arkansas can run on LSU and Alabama still has to play Arkansas before the end of the season. What is that going to mean? I mean, I'm not sure, but this is sort of a good one to watch, even thinking about what's going to happen down the road. So
it could definitely be a very interesting game, especially
I think it could be
especially if Arkansas really just beats LSU.
Yeah.
Then I think that they could give Alabama a run for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Let's talk, Josh. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's talk about your upset picks for this week.
So,
have you got some good ones for us?
So I know I'm really bad at upset picks.
I got to agree with that.
And I have a terrible track record.
Pretty bad.
But I have 2 upset picks this time around that I'm pretty confident about.
Okay.
I'm going to put my neck on the line. Me, Josh Hunt, I'm going to put my neck on the line for these 2.
Right. Bring it, Josh.
I think that Penn State can take Michigan.
Ooh, number 6, Michigan. They are going to be at Penn State. That's good for Penn State because that Penn State crowd is fantastic.
100%. And Penn State has not done bad this year, like at
No.
all. And
They've just had some disappointments for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think time and time again, like you see these top dogs kind of losing games and falling out of favor. And I think that this is Michigan's turn to lose. Like Michigan State lost last week. It's Michigan's turn to lose this week. And Penn State are going to take them.
All right. What else you got for us?
Oklahoma's not a good team.
I think we've said that many times, and yet they're still undefeated.
Yes, but I'm telling you now that this is going to be the proof that they're not a good team when Baylor takes them. Because Baylor looks good right now.
Yeah,
I like watching.
Except they
Baylor.
are limping a bit because they were upset. So can Baylor recover to be able to play Oklahoma? That's the question.
I think they'll come back with a vengeance.
Okay.
And so I'm betting Penn State's going to be Michigan, and I think that Baylor is going to be Oklahoma.
Wow. Stay tuned to see if this is what plays out as we bring you the results of Week 11.
Go Broncos!